cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, niggas. We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is lying to you.
Friends and neighbours, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
But now you start to see, yes, the people never happy. It never enough.
I cannot believe you, Ellen.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off!
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, niggas. We're only getting started.
Так,
Good evening, I'm...
ну погнали. Что я там наворотил? Ха-ха, хороший финал? Ну не знаю. Ха-ха. Ну да, я бы сам тоже не понял, то, что говорил. Ну да ладно. Хотя нет, наоборот, надо верить тому, что говорит. Ой, да. Зато не избирает мэра. Не избирает мэра. Я не помню, а что там было-то? Это было правильно ответ, интересно? Сочувствие. Шут знает. По-по-пом. 913. 1200. Это сколько дней-то прошло? Без работы? Это печально. Да, печаль. Стерильность. Через 3 года после восстания.
Hello, Alex. I've checked the schedule for tonight. Nothing major to report. Certainly isn't anything you can't handle. Still, at least my daughter's in for Advance's new initiative. That should liven things up a bit here. Keep up the good work.
Their unexpectedly large family. At 9:15, it's What Music is Best? A rundown of the top-selling bands across the territories. Expect catchy tunes and scenes of an inappropriately sexual nature. Not one to miss. At 10 p.m, it's time for Julia's Diary, where the ever-popular Prime Minister reads extracts from her diary in front of a warm fire. Then at 10:30, it's the latest episode of our drama series, Settlement, which tells the inspirational story of Emily Dennisworth and the brave doctors and technicians struggling to help her shed her old habits.
And this is Jenny. She's the floor manager. That's Colin. He do you know, don't talk to Colin.
Nah, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Believe in what?
Just days.
That's followed by the territory weather report, advanced
Had a
briefing,
girl.
and pages from Territory. Now
10 seconds, everybody.
Explains so much.
Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolf. And who's this, you might be wondering? Well, it's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey. Go fuck yourself. Hello, Stacey. All right then. Here are the stories that matter to you. First up, with Advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face.
Oi.
This is from Sonia in Larkshire. I've had plenty of time to fill, so I've started a new hobby. Since I started knitting, I barely remember that 85% of the country is sterile. My record is this scarf. It's 124 meters long. Thank you for that. And if you've started a new hobby, do write in and tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot, or the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Catherine from Berkeldown sent us this, saying, I couldn't help but spot the face of poor departed Peter Clement in my fourth lager this morning. Oh, I'm not sure if I see it, Catherine, but then again, I'm only on my third. Do keep those coming in. You have a go. We've just got time for one more of your stories, and this one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from, yeah, and then read it out. Okay. Apparently, this is from Sherry Intendant. Here I am, just 6 months out of betterment. I'm healthy, sober and working in facilities I had access to on the inside. I'll never have to go back to my old life of stealing cars and burning down charity shops. I just wanted to share. We absolutely love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to become better teammates. So do let us know your stories here. You can do this bit, Stacey. Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. You'll need to use the S effect buttons for the next segment, but Advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's team lottery winners live from the Shakespeare Theatre right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you don't think much of her either, eh, Stacey? She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers. Okay, surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards. Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven path is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us. This is the new future, and I say to you, it's better now. I am delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Tadgbadger. So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights? Alfie? Is he alright?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Oh, could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Yeah, he says that's fine then.
staff.
We got it.
So, Alfie,
What?
you're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Where is everybody?
Well, out there, in the dark. Bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I like this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, so you're a
woman.
Yes, a woman. One of
Women can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Can you piss standing up?
I can't say I've ever tried.
No, I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Oh, are you going to ask me about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that. So
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked my mum and Pat. There was no television then. Back then, we made our own entertainment out of coal and roadkill.
Well, that was fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yeah. So I called it Patch, which was a popular name for a dog back then, on account of the king having a patchy face. I decided to introduce him to pretty little dirty Thimble, who lived up the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times. Divorce 8. There was a mix-up with that. I'm just lucky. Are we going back to the home soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here. The weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble-Bamblebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven past, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snister.
Are you here to change me?
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
Doctor, I mean, 2 sugars, and don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Well,
There he goes. Look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down, love.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are thriving.
Are we in? As the actor said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Now, open your envelope and find out what you've won. Don't hold back there. She's stuck into one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I've won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. Used to be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all one nation now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these wide fronts for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Right, you are, love.
Next up tonight is a couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lobelia Jackson Randiganis.
medals, Alfie.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson. He was from way up north, so I didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
Should we just grab some personal? Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger Ace. There was them two. Little Eric, Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl, but she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us had ever seen close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Frankworth prison in Alden over at Olive. And Terry, he exploded quietly at home. Sydney got a fatal skin. Scratched herself to death. Just makes you think.
Thanks, Alfie. Great contribution. So, Otho and Lobelia, a petting zoo.
After we launched all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who would never even own a pony. So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we can debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, but before we do, there is something I want to say to you.
Absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
You might as well have the rest of it, too.
Oh, security!
Oh God, not again. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Bennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
Much better. And you are? Oh, no. Oh.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Oh, no, you don't.
You can't be pearls and swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses, sent them to Bethel and hung well. And now what have we got? 2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that would bloody shut up!
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
As the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go again. Hello, Alfie Badger. It keeps me.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, 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 oh.
You've got a great bloody nose.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in the trenches and we go to the promenade at Shining Sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course. We'd visit the Penny Arcade and try to win a block of lard to take home to the family. You couldn't buy lard in those days. You had to win it. Oh, it was so much simpler back then. Boys were boys.
Ну и какой мне кадр показывать?
There were loads of them, you see, circuses, with their big tents and their candy floss. You'd hear the music, the pipe organ, drifting over the nearby fields. My mum used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Did you ever go to the circus?
What's that, Alfie?
The circus, just the two, Pat.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia. Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team. And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value our fabulous new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got 'em, helping to root out more than 170 disrupt collaborators in his own neighbourhood. Since then, he's gone on to be a senior cohesion cadet leader and organised all of the entertainment at last year's Camp Cooperation. Our final winner tonight, Edwin Neverlay.
Oh, how's the pleasure,
You should be in a transition centre, you old Prime Minister. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role model.
Nonsense, Prime Minister. You have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with 9 fists. As with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they won't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you do for liberation. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesive. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's award fair. Join me next week when, hopefully, things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team award ceremony. Any thoughts on this week's winners, Stacey?
The nurse was fucking scary, the preteens were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Succinctly put there, if little complaint. After the break, we'll be going live to a star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back. And we're out.
Oh, Alex, one other... What's that? You're off already? I know you had to take the day off work for Junior, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore. I'm so sorry, darling. Of course. I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex. Completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. Still, I'm lucky to have her.
You gotta go to Betterment. So much better, so much better.
Warrior Warble Tongue.
I'll unburden you and you'll unburden me. We can take the pressure off our family. So look me in the eyes and say our last goodbyes. I'll unburden me. I'll unburden you and you'll unburden me. We can take
Songs of the new future. In record shops across the territories. From Friday.
Welcome back. Stacey's still here.
Wishing she wasn't.
Thanks, Stacey. And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere of The Automated, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch and the late, great Helena Canterbury Boatshoe. And all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition and premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
I can't deconstruct it. I can't deconstruct it. Box.
Is this a wig?
I don't grow that.
No, Dick, I'll kill you. Think of Saturn.
There's something on your face, Chief Harrison.
Ничего не понимаю, ну.
Wish you were real, baby. Flesh and blood.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. If only I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rusted, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, Dick, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, lost it all!
Here's a map.
What's a map? Okay, so head north on Interstellar Avenue, left at the asteroid belt, and a tricky three-point turn at Uranus. What are these symbols? This corner. This is the key.
You could shut it down.
Yes, we could shut it down. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
Кто мы такие?
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What did you think, Stacey?
The robots were alright, I guess.
They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin.
And we're... Yes, we are live from Western Square with a man who needs no introduction, Florence Blunderclatch. How has your evening been so far?
Magical. Absolutely magical. My most dear friends all gathered here to celebrate my work. One really couldn't ask for much more, could one?
Well, on that note, with award season just around the corner, are you hoping to add to your collection for a third time?
Well, I really couldn't say. But if the association deigned to honour me for a fourth time, so be it. It's really not for me to say. But let's just say that I know of 3 little gold men who are getting rather lonely.
Absolutely.
Because I've won 3 little awards.
And each more deserved than the last. Well, it's safe to say that your career has gone supersonic in the last couple of years. How's that been?
Well, as I was saying to Stephen only yesterday, that's Stephen Spellman, the Stephen Spellman, lovely chap, I mean, unbelievable mind. I said, Stephen, you know, this really has been quite the ride. And do you know what he said? He agreed with me.
Wow. And what do you attribute your success to?
Well, if we're talking actual numbers, I'd have to say 60% talent, 30% looks, and 10% passion, brackets general. Not to mention the incredible coverage on election night. That really was the start of it all. That and my own range of sick bags. Lawrence's Chundercatch.
Wow, who could forget? Well, it's been a delight talking to you, as always. Thank you so much. Well, Patrick Bannon should be with Lil C for a conversation that doesn't involve vomit. Patrick?
You, Robin. Let's hope not. I'm actually joined here by...
Billy Bob Jean Short. And surely you recognize my youngest, pop sensation, Lil D. Her Lil C covers album drops next week.
Actually, we were expecting Lil C. Is she...
She's around. She's not been feeling very well. She's put me in charge.
Has she?
Well, the courts have. They gave me stewardship over her estate, her finances, and her internal soul. Praise Craglar!
Praise Craglar? Wow. But is she coming just because we've got some questions for her?
Well, she might be along later, but as her legal and spiritual guardian, I'll be happy to answer any questions on her behalf.
And Lil D, was it? Well, you look great.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I feel great.
Well, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Little C, and you could be too.
Really?
Little C's new line launches tonight. This is one of my favourite looks. It's called... Ah!
Oh, what a unique name!
Hard to spell, though.
But of course, Lil C is basically fashion royalty now, with a veritable clothing empire to her name.
Yeah, well, the label's gone from strength to strength since our initial TV launch on this very show, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So really, we have all you to thank for all this. You know, this hat cost more than my second jet. Feel that? Feel that?
Yes, it's a nice hat.
Person.
And Fruits magazine has named me the youngest self-made success story ever.
And do you have any advice for anyone wanting to follow in your footsteps?
Absolutely. All you need to succeed on your own is your family's financial backing and pre-existing fame. It's not rocket science, people.
Oh, well, but in sadder news, am I right that Lil C is going to be retiring from music?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm sure you can imagine. At 25, she's far too old for pop music now. She can't keep up with these young stars. So, her best of album is out now, and she's touring that later this year. And then, her farewell tour the year after that. And that's her last chance to see her. So, until the reunion tour, and then the classic tour after that. But, it's been a long and varied career, as you can imagine. She's very, very proud of herself.
Oh, and if her health's bad, then maybe it's for the best.
What's wrong with her health? Oh, yes, her health. Her poor health. And it's surprisingly expensive treatments. Curse you, Zaytan! Damn your intergalactic justice!
Oh, yeah. Well, we'd better be letting you get back. Those babies aren't going to sell themselves, or possibly at all. Billy Bob, Lil C, D, thank you so much for joining me, and do pass our best wishes to Lil C.
Who? Oh!
Now, it looks like Robin is with a music legend who actually is irreplaceable. Is that who I think it is, Robin?
Absolutely is, Patrick. Jesus, I almost can't believe you're here. How have you been?
You know, I like to walk amongst the peoples every now and then. It makes them feel close to me.
Right, yes.
And to be close is to be human. And to be human is to be apart. That was good, write that down. Hey, Rachel, write that one down.
It's good to see you've done so well for yourself.
Thank you, my child. You know, I have you to thank for that. If it was never for your show supporting me and my music, I never would have transcended.
Now, there are rumours going around that you might be running for office. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, yeah.
But you're aware that elections have been suspended in the territories?
No, I'm not running to be no prime minister.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Тролли Луны, ну да, только если это будет Тролли Луны.
Running for king of the moon?
No, not running. It's my birthright.
And does
ну,
this
в принципе,
have
да.
anything to do with promoting your upcoming
Все Луну
opera,
только
Часть?
остается.
Hush now. Cynicism is so unmoon.
Okay. And how long will this last? Will it go the way of last year's Living as a Mouse fiasco? Or maybe your foray into ventriloquist beats?
I don't make the moon rules. I merely live by them.
So, are you looking forward to seeing the automated?
You know, I don't believe in film. Thou shalt keep thine image still and holy. That's track 4, Jesus Christ Megastar.
Okay. Thank you for your time, and good luck with your new life in space.
And with you, my child.
Well, Megan, that's what success looks like. I'm going to see if we can grab someone else to have a chat. Back to you.
Robin, but I think Stacey and I are probably in quite enough trouble where we are. So, 3 big names there, Stacey.
Yeah, big names.
Any thoughts about them, maybe from your generation's perspective?
You won't like my opinions.
Go on, try me.
Well, Bumbanonk is so old he's like 1 week away from the transition centre, so who cares? And Lil C was cool when I was like 12 or something, but now she's just another fucking loony. And Jesus is a disrupt-loving wanker who should have died with the rest of them 3 years ago.
You're right.
You agree with me?
No, you're right, I don't like your opinion. But thankfully, we can go back to Patrick now, who has another familiar face to catch up with. Oh, Patrick, what's the atmosphere like there?
It's
Absolutely buzzing here, Megan. The anticipation is killing us. But a little birdie's told us that any moment now we should get a glimpse of someone incredibly popular with our viewers. A favourite destination for many of the fans. Yes, the Mayor of Bumley will be arriving literally any second now. No sign of him yet, but as you can tell, the atmosphere here really is something else. Patrick Bannon, NNN, what's it been like since Bumley got so popular?
Well, it's been wonderful. The tourism numbers have exploded thanks to the marketing campaign. Investors have ploughed millions into the town. We've got more Bumleyan jobs, it's brought more Bumleyan homes. We're all very grateful. Of course, it's not all bums and roses. It's almost impossible to get a good look at the whole these days. Crowds are unbelievable. Who can blame them? It's a bloody marvellous hole.
And how have you found public service?
Well, to be frank with you,
Да, блин, надо было, конечно, было того товарища было, а я его... Тогда было все по-другому. Его надо было просто было пиарить. Хоть переигрывай заново. Ай, блин. Надо переиграть заново будет.
And I can't thank the mayor enough for all he's done.
Let's talk to the mayor now. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell us a bit of what it's like to be elected to such a prestigious office? And do you have any words for your local fans out there?
Никак.
Stoic, but blistering honesty from the Right Honourable Peanut T. Fortescue there, and his PA.
A proclamation. Quickly, fetch a policy bag. Yes, sir. We'll get it ratified at once.
Well, there you have it, Megan. What an honour to literally see local government at work there. I'm still in shock. Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Patrick. What a colourful interview there on what looks like an amazing night. They certainly know how to make an entrance, I hope. And the automated really does seem to have unstoppable written all over it, because despite Boris Horsey in Hours magazine calling it Lawrence Blunderclatch's overly long suicide note, in a review which ends with the words, and he hasn't even had the decency to see it through, the film, which is free to all residents of the territories, has seen record pre-bookings and looks set to run for months and months. But let's go back to those lucky few seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm so jealous. Robin, you seen anything unusual there?
Well, it's certainly not my average evening, Megan. And to top it off, I'm joined by famous, or possibly infamous, CEO Sophia Rimington. Sophia, may I call you that?
That's my name, hun. Just don't wear it out.
And who are you wearing tonight?
Actually, this is from Rimington Sophisticates, our clothing line, and it's called Grace and Plenty. There's only 10 of them in the whole world, and they're handmade by blind former fisherwomen. You should see the state of their hands. It's inspirational.
Wow. And so tonight's film, The Automated, is hyped as a cautionary tale. Will your company be taking that warning?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because recently we had the science guys in to reflect on that unfortunate incident with a toy a few years ago.
Ah, yes. Mr. Snugglehugs, I'm sure we all remember that.
Well, we said, what if, instead of a deadly toy, we make a softer, more feminine version, you know, slap a wig on it or something, and teach it how to love. I mean, the technology is still decades away from where we actually need to pull it off, but it's a dream worth chasing, don't you think?
Aren't all dreams worth chasing?
Well, that depends. If it's sleeping with the family dog, probably not.
How did you know about that dream? It was one time at flute camp, and I haven't licked a toad again since.
It was just an example.
Of course it was. I knew that. Obviously. I was just joking. Of course. Of course.
Well, I should probably.
Yes. Yes. Right, you
about
are.
to, you know.
The movie. Right. Yeah.
So I'll just.
Yes. Definitely. And I'll throw it back to the studio and go hide under my duvet for a couple of months in shame.
Megan? Thanks, Robin. Lucky you, and enjoy the movie. The Automated opens in cinemas across the territories this weekend. What a star-studded event, eh, Stacey?
Who cares? No one goes to the cinema these days.
Of course. We'll be back after these messages. I still go to the cinema.
You should get yourself a video recorder, like the one at the home.
Yeah, I've got a video recorder.
The dreary days are over. The uneven past is far behind us. The territories are expanding, with countries queuing to add their voices to the warm symphony of the new future. It's an exciting time, but there's one thing missing, and that's where you come in. Advance are calling on talented, creative people from across the territories to submit their most sterling creations as entries in the United Territories Anthem Slam. We're looking for a new song for the new future, something that speaks from and to your hearts. An original composition of cooperation and cohesiveness, a song of solidarity for a steadfast society. No previous songwriting experience is required. All you need to do is record or notate your anthem and, if possible, arrange it for a modern 39-piece chamber orchestra or 44-voice choir. The entries will be judged by acclaimed composer Jonathan Williamson, responsible for the soundtracks to Bullet Man, The Automated, and, of course, Space Opera, Parts 1, 2, and 5. So why not put on your composing trousers, sharpen
Да,
your
малышник,
stick,
как я.
and
Ему
have a
по-другому
go?
было. Ну,
You
нужно
can grab the friendly 31-page entry form at your nearest team offices. Advance, because a mighty movement requires a mighty melody.
Welcome back. For our final segment tonight, Stacey and I are delighted to be joined by Heat Rash. Their new album, Girls and Why We Love Them All, comes out this weekend. So, let me see if I can get this right. It's Nolan,
I write the songs.
Ronnie.
That's what it says on the tattoo.
Oh, you've got a tattoo of your name on yourself. Okay.
In case he forgets it.
This raconteur, you must be Chinny. Why do they call you Chinny?
It's because of this ugly old thing.
I don't know what you mean. God, you're so fucking embarrassing. Dale. Crikey, Dale, you do not look old enough to be in a band.
I get that a lot. I'm actually 23, the oldest one. I have a growth disorder.
God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
It's so cool, PT.
It's only messing with you.
He's actually 58.
Okay, right, I see. You're going to be a handful, aren't you, boys?
Mum.
And you must be TP. What does TP stand for?
Tiny prick.
It stands for team player.
I see. How long have you had that nickname?
Ever since Nolan decided Terry Pronos was a shit name for a member of a boy band.
No co, Ronnie. Yeah, no co, Ronnie.
Sorry, what does no-co mean?
It's the opposite of SoCo.
Say, SoCo.
Yeah.
So cohesive. You pretees say, cool.
Right, okay. Thank you, Stacey.
Sorry about her.
Not your fault. She's uneven.
So, you guys met through a popular show on one of our rival channels, didn't you?
Yeah, team players with a Z.
So, how did that work then?
Well, actually, Dale and I knew each other from school. We were actually classmates. And
Fuck's sake, Nolan, mate. Give someone else a chance. We all went on team players. We all auditioned. The judges put us into bands. And, yeah, we went to their houses and they just put us into bands.
it's an example of how we're greater than the sum of our parts when we work in harmony.
And occasionally singing it.
So every week on the show, they get these bands and they give them a song that the producer just found under the bin somewhere.
Actually, I write the song.
And the public would phone in and decide which song they like best.
Right, and then the losers would be eliminated.
Mum.
No-co. So no-co. The band who get the most approval gets to play their song again.
Sure. So what happens to the losers then?
Mum.
What do I keep doing wrong?
We don't use the L word anymore.
You mean losers?
Would you please stop saying that?
That word is a pejorative. It's a word designed to diminish At Go Getters, I learned very early that we only win when everybody wins.
But, sorry, that's not real life, is it? That's just sports board, no?
I thought you were Soko.
I am so good.
Nah, you're a shrinker. Can't be friends with shrinker.
She doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand.
So I do understand, actually, Stacey.
What's a shrinker?
Well, a shrinker.
What's
is,
a pre-T, Mum?
Well, I think it means someone who's older, doesn't it?
Pre-territories. It's someone who turned 18 before the new future. We call you pretees.
Mimis.
Nonks.
It's not her fault she's old. She can't help it.
I'm that old.
I'm trying to help you here.
I don't think I need your help.
See? Total Mimi.
Is that so?
Yes, obviously.
You know what the real problem with you lot is? You just can't get over the fact that your beloved Disrupt are gone and you just don't fit in anymore. But the truth is, Disrupt were violent, no-co, bricks being led by a fucking psycho. I'm glad they lost, and you should be too.
Listen, not everyone over 30 supported Disrupt, Stacey.
Not everyone, no, but one fuck-off lot of you did.
Soko, Stacey. Soko.
We've all learned maybe a little bit more than we expected to there. I'm genuinely delighted to have met Heat Rash. And before we end the show tonight, I think you're going to sing for us, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. We're going to sing a song from Girls and Why We Love Them All called Pieces of My Heart, which is about a real relationship I have with an actual girl.
Oh, Nolan, give it a rest, mate. No one cares. Go on, let's get on these stools, lads.
Right.
So, Stacey, can I get your contact?
Oh, she's 15. Go on, piss off and sing this song, Terry. Christ.
Right, you are.
So, here they are with their latest single, Pieces of My Heart. Are you excited, Stacey?
Not for me, no. I only listen to blip music and a bit of jizzcore. Pop music is...
Ah, yes, I know I meant to mention this earlier. Apparently, these newfangled boy bands change singer all the bloody time. Try and follow along, eh? Keep the shot on whoever is currently singing the lead vocal.
I saw you standing by the man you sent with a brand new pair of Lakers, baby. Do you remember? You took the first of the pieces of my heart. We wandered into a bush and grabbed a vodka and sang. Took our assets and our wealth and drew them out of the bag. I gave you little pieces of my heart. I didn't know two hearts could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington Smith. I take all of the loves that didn't last and leave them in the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I don't want you to pay. You make me crazier than Neil today. On Liberation Night, girl, I was sitting.
Я вообще не понимаю, как это работает.
We sat there shaking all the way through incisors. We held each other as things fell apart.
Не знаю, как это работает вообще.
We took a train through all the territory. We threw away the rules and wrote our personal stories. You took a dozen pieces
Да я не знаю, как вообще это работает хрень.
There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. My old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I just want you to play. You make me crazier than neon. Crazier than neon. Crazier than neon today.
Wow.
Oi.
Fantastic. Thank you, Newflash. That was actually really good. Thank you for coming in. Now it's almost time for final thoughts tonight. And I've actually asked Stacey to write a few, and they're just being programmed onto the auto cue now. Now, I have no idea what she's going to say. So, fingers on that bleep button in the broadcast room, just in case. Take it away, Stacey.
My name is Stacey. I guess you know that by now. Don't know why I put that in there. Anyway. I don't watch the news. There's no need. You hear all the important stuff from your mates, so I don't know what's considered important anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it's not rehashed movies and fucking boy bands, so anyway. I'm going to talk about what's important to me. When Advance were first elected 6 years ago, I was 9 and in a home. Not a family home like you call a home. This was a state children's home. It was fucking awful, actually. It was like a Charles Dickens book. The roof leaked and the walls were damp some mornings. Food was bad. Drugs and alcohol were everywhere. No one cared. You had to watch your back all the time because there weren't enough staff to manage us. And yes, as you'd imagine, there was a lot of some bad stuff went down there with some of the staff. Okay. Not all of them, but the others knew, and they didn't stop it. And then Advance won the election. And like a miracle, things started to change. They got better. Had nicer food. The home was not just repaired, but redecorated and kitted out with books and sports stuff and musical instruments and video games. Most of the staff were fired, and the new ones, which there were more of, spent time talking and working with the bullies. And you know what? A second miracle. It worked. The bullying stopped. My life, got better. Because finally, there was enough money to do the good things, and Advance had the guts to do it. I joined Go-Getters, and on Liberation Night, that gave me a group of friends that I could talk with when the bombs went off and the power went out. Another miracle. I wasn't alone anymore. And that was the night I finally understood the importance of being in a team. So here's my final thought. I know the people who were doing better under the old system long to go back. You say, we were freer, but what you mean is, we were richer. But for every one of you, there is 100 of me. And even now, after all you've had taken away, you are still doing better than I am, than I likely ever will. You still have homes of your own and families of your own who love you. And I'll never have that. So maybe you should stop looking for the worst interpretation of everything this amazing government does and realise it's not for you. It's for the millions like me. And you can cry and bleat all you want, but you're never going to get your money back because it's already been spent on miracles.
Stand by. Stand by.
And we're out.
Is that all right?
Oi.
Yes. Yes, that was more than all right.
Nicely done. I think you might have actually given them something to think about.
So I guess you're going to be taking me back to the home now then.
I was thinking we could go out somewhere and, I don't know, have a meal, talk about our options.
if that's okay.
Of course, Miss Wolf. Security will be standing by.
So they're always there then?
There was a thing a few years ago now.
Oh, with that Jeremy bloke? I heard about that, everyone did. Were you here back then? Doesn't look old enough.
Growing on me.
Yeah, she does that.
Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
Да. Будущее, будущее. Да, переехал. Понял. Все имеет значение. Финал. Через 7 лет после выборов.
Alex, good evening. That time again. Best not to focus on the problems and all that. Let's just get started. But just so you know, the problems with your equipment continue unabated. Locked buttons, screens flickering on and off, sparks and the like. I'm sure you'll manage without issue. Oh, and don't forget, you've got free reign of the SFX buttons now. Make sure to use them to keep the show lively. Cheers.
Orders and the evils of their creative accounting. At 11 p.m. it's Lil C's Lil Chats. And tonight, the former singer is asking Dr. Adrian Atkins-Briney what he's been up to since the cancellation.
What have you got me?
Apparently, it's an aim jigsaw
Nothing, Colin.
No, come on, seriously. Not even a cake.
I'm sorry, no.
Okay. No worries.
How old are you then, Cole? Okay, here we go. Big smiles.
I've actually gained a year. I celebrated 44 last year, but it's actually this year. Brilliant.
You're 44. I'm going in
Ну
5,
ё-моё.
4, 3.
Good evening and welcome.
Spice it up with some audience responses, Alex.
I'm Megan, and I'm joined, as always, by the inimitable Robin and Patrick. How are we?
Well, we have got so much going on tonight. I'm excited.
I'd say I'm about a 12, Megan.
On the excitement scale.
Yeah, exactly. We have got so much
Really
SoCo
well.
stuff coming up.
We sure do. We have celebrity chef Jordan Rankley, who will be cooking up a storm.
We'll be announcing the winners of our big competition, Visions of the Future.
And we'll be joined by a very special guest for a game of Wheel of Truth. And I'll even be showing you how to make your own Leaders' Day gifts. We've got all of that and so much more tonight on The Nightly Show.
And
Coming to you live from the Channel 1 buildings in the heart of the capital. It's The Nightly Show.
Understand this. There is something wrong with the food.
Right, let's have some applause on the way into the next section.
Cases by Chef Jordan Rankley. But first, we know you love them, so Robin's going to give us an update on our lovely Nightly Show pets.
Стоп, что там было? Я что-то не успел увидеть. Кидо, что-то не так? С едой что-то не так. Понял.
Corner.
Fine, suit yourself.
Well, Megan, first up we have our hamster, Lord Cheeks. Now, he's a squat winter grey with the scientific name Adipem stultus, and he lives here with us in this cage. Hamsters love hoarding, and they actually have special pouches in their cheeks for storing food. He loves carrots, apples, and chewing tobacco. Now, hamsters are nocturnal, so we'll do our best not to wake him up. But let's just see if we can... Well, the door has been left open. It looks as though Lord Chinks has actually gone for a little wander. But I'm sure he will be around here somewhere. In the meantime, let's say hello to our tortoise. Now, after last month's viewer vote, she is now, of course, called Slow Barbara. And don't panic, even though it is December, Babs here doesn't actually hibernate. Let's say hello. Oh, she's sleeping. Oh, Babs. Well, oh. Those are our nightly show pets, Megan, both alive and well. Back to you. Thanks, Robin. We'll check in on them, or some very similar animals at the same time tomorrow. Now then, I hope you're hungry, because if not, you're about to be. Patrick Bannon is with Chef Jordan Rankley, and they're going to be showing us how to knock up a delicious apple pie. Time to go. into the kitchen.
Don't forget the SFX buttons.
That's right, and I'm joined here by Chef Jordan Rankley. Welcome to the Nightly Show kitchen. How does it compare to the kitchens you're used to?
I love the colours. It's vibrant, it's fresh. Shame about all the arseholes. Yes?
Sorry?
What?
So, you own 6 restaurants, you've been awarded 9 Ballon Massifs across your career, and you've worked alongside the best chefs in the world. Tonight you've got me. Oh, are you worried?
Am I fucking worried? Are you worried? Are you fucking worried?
Yes. So, what are we making today, Chef?
So, we've got a family over for Leaders' Day. They're hungry. We're going to eat a delicious apple pie.
Ooh, lovely.
It's got sweetness, it's got the acidity of the fruit, and then you get the richness of that pastry. Incredible.
Wow, okay, so where do we start?
So we're going to start by making our filling. So we've got about 1 kilogram of fresh cooking apples here. Fucking beautiful. And we're going to slice these up perfectly. And then straight into the pan.
Your new show, Demon Kitchen Heart Eater, starts on Friday here on Channel 1. So, tell us about that.
So, teams of young chefs come into my kitchen, and one by one I destroy them emotionally. And if there's time, I teach them some basic knife skills. Fuck me, Patrick. What are you doing?
What?
Shit. Is that how you cut? Fuck, you'll lose a fucking finger.
Oh, don't worry, I've got spares. Right, so once we've done that, we set these aside whilst we make the pastry. Yeah?
Yep. Bowl. Yeah? Okay. Sugar, butter. We mix that together, and then a whole egg. What are you doing, you fucking donkey? Are your brains the size of that fucking egg?
Oh, no, Chef.
No. Shit. Right. Mix that with a wooden spoon and work in that flour, okay? Work that into a nice ball of dough, just like that.
So, what does the notoriously fierce Jordan Rankley do to unwind?
Shit in bed. What's that? What is that?
Well, it's a bit lumpy.
Lumpy? It could fucking pass for a sack of spuds. Touch that. Touch it. Yeah? Pathetic. That goes into chill. Now, we're mixing our filling.
Okay.
Apples, sugar, cinnamon.
So, you own 6 restaurants across 5 territories. Which is your favourite?
Are you mixing that or fucking mixing?
What?
Are you going to light a candle? Take it out to dinner? Fucking mix it for fuck's sake. Right, now we're rolling out 2/3 of our pastry. Bit of flour into the dish.
And the filling goes next, right?
Absolutely right.
Oh,
lovely. Okay. Then we're taking the remaining pastry, rolling that into a round, and that goes on the top. Beautiful.
Lovely. Okay.
Right. Wash a bit of water around the rim. Beautiful. Now press gently all the way around. And we're cutting 5 slashes very carefully for the steam. And then brushing the whole thing with a beaten egg.
Lovely. Okay. Ta-da! What do you think?
Oh my god. You, come here, you. That's a disgrace. I'd rather jam my eyeballs up my fucking arse than look at that. I'd rather use my tongue to tie my shoes after a fucking shit-kicking contest, you understand?
Then it goes in the oven for 45 minutes.
Oh, put your fucking head in the oven while you're at it. Useless. You, come here, you. You're the worst fucking thing to happen to food since cyanide. Do you know that? I tell you what. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off.
Okay, well, while I do that, let's go now to Megan and Robin, who will be announcing the winners of our competition, Visions of the Future.
With SFX, less is more, Alex.
Well, that looks delicious. If you want to follow along at home, then make sure you write in with a stamped addressed envelope and we'll send you the fact sheet. So, Robin, look at all these amazing entries to the Vision of the Future competition.
Yes, we challenged you to show us your predictions of the future, and we were just inundated with entries, weren't we, Megan? From wacky inventions to global problem solving, they are all amazing, and we had the best time looking through each one.
It was so tough narrowing it all down, so we have some amazing runners up. In third place, drum roll please, we have Hamish, who's 3 from Lunwelly. He calls this Still Life and the Future of God, and it really blew us away. Just look at the
Ну, чего ты нажимаешься?
and I can really feel every passionate stroke of the brush.
If you look here, you'll see a beautifully rendered, what I thought at first was a smiley face or perhaps a cat. But I think if you really look, you'll see it's actually a representation of the seeming futility of death through the eyes of the living.
Indeed. He's also chosen to just leave a lot of it blank, which I think is really interesting. If you know Hamish and his work, of course, he loves focusing on the negative space rather than the image itself.
Stunning, absolutely stunning, and such talent from one so young, Megan. But next up we have our second place entry. So in second, drum roll please, we have Keith, 41 from Dungleys. Yeah, Keith, we were sort of aiming this towards our younger viewers, but still, he has sent in his idea of the future, which he's calling Ravaged Earth.
Indeed, he says in his really rather detailed notes, deprived of basic resources, society will resort to a brutal system of weekly battles to the death, where only the victor may breed. He also says at the bottom here, either that or about the same, but maybe a bit worse.
I really love his attention to detail. You can see the sort of gladiatorial arena, and then what I can only assume is Keith himself pulling off this chap's head and shouting, "Come back to me, Linda!" Oh, Keith. Maybe if you spent more time outdoors and less time entering children's competitions, she might not have left.
Special one there. And finally, of course, it's time to reveal our winner. All our runners-up will receive a day out at an inflatable Happy Land on an industrial estate just off the A40. Sorry about that, Keith. But our lucky winner will win the chance to spend the day at the Department of Change to see how our teammates are actually making the new future a reality every day. And the winner is, drum roll please.
It's... Oh, happy with that.
Peter Clement. I didn't like him much. I thought his man of the people act was just that, an act. But in the 6 years since he's been gone, I started to wonder if he was the only thing keeping the brakes on the team. And I'm wondering if Julia Salisbury realises that when she reflects on his passing. Or worse, that she knew all along. Because then, of course, it's not reflection, it's motive.
Seems to have gone a bit haywire in what I can only assume is an ominous sign of things to come. Lovely, Lola.
Well, if our winners have inspired you to make some artwork of your own, do keep sending them in, and yours could be displayed in our gallery.
Так, что там ты наговорил, так и не понял. Не совсем понятно, но очень интересно.
Well done again to everyone who took part. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we'll be playing the Wheel of Truth and making some lovely homemade gifts. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
That's the break. 1 minute back. Let's lose all of this. What happens to these?
Right.
No, not me.
What I can tell, the vision mix is getting even worse for wear, Alex. I expect things will be more challenging in this next segment, so be careful. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Not like what we're putting out actually matters anymore.
Get cars arranged for you both.
But as we head towards Leaders' Day later in the week, there's a 100% chance of festivity, as we saw 42 births today, a daily record of 4% fertility. Dwarfed, however, by a massive 9% fertility rate here in Territory 2, who saw an unbelievable 191 births today. Though a nasty cold snap brings bitter winds overnight, so not all sunshine and rainbows. No rainbows in sight over Territories 3 and 4, as a Category 2 storm warning means we advise our residents to spend their Leaders' Weekend indoors. Though we're sure the happy parents of the 12 new children in Territory 3 will be thanking their lucky stars for an excuse to stay home. Though, of course, nothing to do with stars, more of a hot air, cold air thing. Next, this front of warm smiles heads across Territory 5, who are still under a blanket of snow. Surely there'll be celebratory snowmen there tonight, as they also hit an impressive fertility peak of 23 new arrivals. And finally, an honourable mention to our team members of T7, with a stunning result showing 146 births and clear blue skies. Though be sure to grit your driveways, as we will hit freezing temperatures overnight. And that's all for your daily forecast tonight. As always, we'll be bringing you a more specific rundown of the numbers in your area later this evening as you join your regional news team in your territory. I'm Dahlia Flywell. Wishing you and all our precious little team members a good night.
4,
Good night.
3.
A bit more audience reaction would be nice, Alex.
Sorry, we were just saying we can't wait to taste Patrick's pie.
I don't know, I think I could wait.
Well, here it is, fresh out the oven.
Well, it does look amazing. Jordan, how did our Patrick do?
Well, let's just say that pie's got more crust than my grandmother's arsehole.
Well, thank you for that. Well, come on, try it. Dig in.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh Lord.
And a little glass of comfort for Robert, I think.
But now you better go and get ready for that next feature.
Every night we play a game of Wheel of Truth with our celebrity guests. But I know what you're thinking. Megan, we've only got one celeb guest. Well observed, viewers, well observed. Well then, I'd better bring her out.
One for the state of the nation. And one for me.
Author, lawyer, and thinker. I mean, she's only the bloomin' team leader. It's Julia Salisbury.
Prime Minister Julia Salisbury.
Oh, welcome, Julia. Darling, it's so good to see you.
Oh, Megan, you look incredible.
Stop it. I was just about to say the same thing. Now, don't get too comfortable. It's time to head over to Robin and Patrick as we play Wheel of Truth. That's right. It's that part of the show where we pit our celebs against each other to see if we can break them.
That's right, Robin. They're going to spin the wheel to pick a round, and it could be anything from box of flies to slap my face. They really have no idea.
Lovely.
So, up first, we have Jordan. Let's give it a spin.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, let's see what you've landed on. Okay, it's fact or fib. Jordan, is it true that you've been known to order takeaway for a dinner party and pass it off as your own cooking?
It's one fucking time. One time. Well, I think if that pie was anything to go by, you did them a favour.
Oh, not so fast there, Julia. Fact or fib? We heard you've got a very interesting way
I'm saving time during the laundry.
Oh my God!
Oh, why don't you tell us about it?
You absolutely no, I can't. Okay, what so don't jump.
Once, we fought and died for the right to an informed choice. We had journalists we could trust, so we made decisions for the common good. Then we took it for granted. And now we have bread and circuses. So eat your sandwiches and enjoy your clowns while you can.
No! Honestly, raise my taxes. We're clearly not paying you enough.
Come to my dressing room after the show. We'll sort you out.
Are you blushing, Patrick? Is all this talk of bras embarrassing you?
Blushing? I mean, I'm not blushing. Come on then, you, Julia. Spin the bloody wheel.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's Guess That Face. I'm going to show you a picture and you simply have to guess that face. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Julia. Oh, who's that?
Oh my God!
Is that you?
Yes! Look, it was a very difficult time fashion-wise.
That hairdo is fucking hilarious.
No, don't. I think it's sweet.
The mullet is as popular now as it's ever been.
Oh,
well, don't get too ahead of yourself there. Jordan. Who?
Oh.
Is this? Does that look familiar at all?
Oh, wow! Well, I'm glad that I was getting fashion advice from someone who managed to make 7 look like 85.
Just what the doctor ordered.
You look like I'm haunting the fucking place.
Right, we've got to move on. Jordan, let's have another spin.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
It's my go, Patrick.
Go on. Sorry, I'm so keen.
The water's going so much. Oh, well, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
It's fat or fish. Okay, if you look under your podiums, you will find a lovely fish smoothie. Now, I'm going to ask you both a question, and all you have to do is answer it honestly, or else you'll have to drink the smoothie. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Which of your esteemed hosts is the more talented one? Oh, what a cop-out.
How is it? How is it?
Fucking neutral. Oh, we made it extra fishy.
I need my fucking mouth. Do you know how much these taste buds are worth? Well, we've got time for one more quick spin, so go, Julia, go!
Блин, успеваю.
Here we go, okay, so, Julia, take a look in that box under your desk there.
I think Lord Cheeks is trying to get in on the game.
Oh,
bless him.
Julia, what have you got in that box? It's not cheese, is it?
Another one, Mr. Bozeman? Don't mind if I do, Mr. Bozeman.
Balls? What am I supposed to do with these?
Well, give it a go for us.
But I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
Come on. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Oh, she's doing it. She's fucking doing it.
Wow, that was so impressive. I have to say, unexpected. Well, gosh, that was our game of Wheel of Truth, and my God, wasn't that fun?
Okay.
That hit the spot.
But now it's time to head over to Megan in Crafty Corner.
That's right, you join me in Crafty Corner, where today I'm going to be ably assisted by Julia. Come on over here. I don't know how you're keeping your dinner down. I can still smell that fish.
Well, to be honest, I've had worse. I used to eat at Peter Clement's house.
Oh, well, I hope you've got your artsy hat on because today we're going to be making something very close to my heart. It's our little studio. Look at that. Isn't it adorable? Oh, all of us there on the sofa.
Wow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, is that all you in there?
Yeah, it is. If we can just get a little zoom in, there we are. Oh, I don't know about you, Julia, but I always leave my holiday shopping to the last minute.
Oh, every year. I do it every year.
Well, luckily these make amazing gifts. Shall we get cracking?
Oh, well, not much left in the bottle. Pity not to...
Here, and Julia, that's it. Grab those scissors. I just want you to get rid of this front panel here.
Perfect. Will do.
Are you big celebrators in your house, Julia?
Oh, yes. No, in my house we show our love through food, like big dinners, loads of drinks.
That's the best bit about any holiday. It's all that food.
This bit as well.
Absolutely right. Cutting along the line there. Do be careful with the scissors at home. Make sure you're being supervised.
It's a bit
You
tough.
are a child. There we go. Fabulous.
There we go.
Okay, so it's going to look a little something like this, and I've got one here I made earlier. We painted it with a bit of poster paint, white to match our lovely curtains here in the studio, but you can obviously have whichever backdrop you like.
Like a nice shiny gold number.
Well, exactly right. So we're going to make bits of our set now to put in the studio, perhaps a little desk. So I'm just going to grab this piece of card. I just got it from a little cereal box packet. I'll give you this one, Julia. Shall
thank
I?
you
There
so
you go.
much.
And all you need to do is cut along the
Lovely.
lines there. Fabulous. So what's the best part of any Leaders' Day dinner, do you reckon?
I don't even have to think about it. Really? I love the 3 potato pie.
3 potato pie? I don't know that one.
You know, with the chips covered in the mash or wrapped up in a jacket potato. That just means it does that.
I don't know, but that sounds starchy. Well done, Julia. So now she's folding over a little bit there. What it's going to look like at the end is this little rectangular shape there. And we're going to pop it in the middle. Bit of sticky tape on the back there so it sticks down. Now we need a sofa. That's what we need next. We're going to make that out of a lovely paper cup.
Knocking everything over.
Knocking it all over.
I got one though, Megan.
Good, fantastic.
And clickety-clink.
Along the line here, down the middle. Exactly right. Then when you've done that, around the bottom and again around the top. Well done. When you're done,
there we go.
it's going to look a little something like this. And look what I've done there. I've stuck some felt down. Nice and comfortable sofas.
Yes, can't have our tiny Megan having an uncomfortable sofa, can
Well,
we?
absolutely not.
She'll be on the phone to her tiny agent and getting someone tiny fired.
Yeah. Well, there's only one thing missing, isn't there, Julia? What is that?
A higher caliber of guests.
Nearly. It's people. So all we've done to make our little people is we've stuck a
Ну,
cocktail
максималку
stick
наконец-то
into a
надрал.
bottle cap. Just need a face now. I've got a good one here. I know it well. It's me. I'm going to stick it down there. A little bit of sticky tape. Oh, my felt's going everywhere. There we go. Oh, I'm a bit lonely. Let's take Robin and Patrick over. Sitting down on the couch over there.
There you go. And well, I'll make myself just comfortable, just there.
And these, of course, are all
Lovely.
made and cut out of our favourite newspapers or magazines. So you can have any guests you like. Julia, is there anyone else you'd like in the studio?
Oh yes, well, I'm going to be playing Wheel of Truth with Ronnie from Heatrash.
Nice.
Yes, put that away. Yes, he's going to be teaching me choreography, and I'll be teaching him foreign policy.
And of course, you can decorate them however you want. Perhaps you're a bit, I don't know, nostalgic for the old look of our studio. We've got the blue studio down there, or even a bit of retro red. I've got Sheila Quickstep being interviewed there by. Sorry, that's not supposed to be.
Oh, Mama, that's blazing. Oh, bloody hell, is this still on?
Time for a break. When we come back, I'll be on the couch of chat talking to some of you, and I just cannot wait. We'll be back after these messages.
And we're out.
Блин, забыл рекламу.
Why do we bother, Alex? What's the point? It's not like this is even close to journalism anymore. How did I let it get this far?
Should we be worried? We've got the Prime Minister here. It's good that she's here. She's the reason for the extra security. Are we going to need it? Possibly,
They're back.
It's not very reassuring.
I know. Good thing I'm not your mum, right?
Но зря я это ставлю.
Just
Фигня, посмотрим. И тем, и другим. Посмотрим, что получится.
Both at the same time, Colin?
That is not a thing.
Torches and runs in my family. Sprung's are huge and circuses and casinos. And brothels.
Right.
Everybody okay in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be if you stopped asking us questions like that.
We're expecting troublemakers, but nothing serious. You might hear some noises, but it's nothing to be concerned about. The services know what they're doing.
So, nobody freak out when the shooting starts, okay? The show must go on and all that. Chits and teeth. Oh, God, sorry, Esther.
Thank you, Jenny. Tits and teeth, armed and ready.
10 seconds, everybody.
Best in the business, she is.
In 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the nightly show where it's time for the Prime Minister to face the toughest critics in the territories. You lot out there.
Call us on the usual numbers with your questions for the Prime Minister.
First up, we have Humphrey from Hamble Bamblebury.
Lovely place. I'm hoping to retire there.
Oh, good choice.
Are you there, Humphrey? Hello, Humphrey. We appear to have lost Humphrey. We'll try and get him back, but let's go to another call in the meantime. Who've we got next, Patrick?
Next up, we've got Mandy from Arsminster. Oh, I don't think I'll be retiring there.
Hi, Mandy. You're through to the Prime Minister. What's your question?
Hello? Mandy? What's going on, Jenny?
Кому? Чего? Чем мне делать-то?
Oh, well, call down to maintenance and get me can't.
Кому? Чего звонить-то?
Well, apologies to our viewers at home. We seem to have a few technical gremlins making mischief behind the scenes. So while we're getting back up and running, Patrick has a couple of questions that were sent in by our viewers earlier this week.
I do? Oh, yes. Yes, no, of course I do.
Вот он наконец-то. Ну, пришел. Хе-хе. Ну, сейчас посмотрим.
We're not here to hurt anyone if we don't have to. All I want you to do is to keep the show on the air. Do you understand? Just do your job and everything will be all right, okay?
Don't be afraid, John.
You two, on your knees over there. Move! So, this is the famous couch of chat, eh?
I don't answer questions at gunpoint, Mr. James.
Oh. You're not at gunpoint, Prime Minister. They are.
Please don't kill me, please. Nevertheless, if you think I'm going to answer to you, then I'm afraid
you don't have to answer to me, Julia. Are the doors locked and sealed?
Yes, sir. No one's getting in or out.
Good. Good. All clear.
Good. Thank you. Yes, good.
Однако. Здравствуйте. Такого я не ожидал. Такого никто не ожидал.
Why didn't you make contact?
It would have only put me in their crosshairs, I'm sorry.
What a selfish bastard.
Yes. Keep the show going. Of course. Let them go, Alan. There'll be no killing tonight.
Sorry, I don't think we've met. I'm Patrick Bannon.
Is that what you're telling yourself, is it? Sorry for barging in. Hate what you've done with the place.
Me too. Would you like your spot?
It's yours now. You very well. So, let's talk, shall we? Armed security are on their way, Mr. Donaldson. I know you know that. Well, best make use of the time we have, then, eh?
Well, I'll leave you to it then,
No. I think we should stay tuned.
for safety.
For balance. Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Let's welcome back the National Nightly News. Tonight I'm joined by probably the two most influential people in the country, if not the continent. So let's see if we can't kick over a few rocks and see what's lurking underneath. Prime Minister, if I could turn to you first. I have nothing to hide. Except that which is already hidden. Prime Minister, what is norethindrone? I beg your pardon? Norethindrone. It's used in birth control, among other things. If you haven't heard of that, perhaps you could enlighten us in regards to agrobacterium tumefaciens.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Donaldson.
Well, that suggests a lack of attention to detail, Prime Minister. It's a bacterium used in the genetic modification of an organism. And I found traces of both these substances in every single one of the menu centre food boxes that I've had analysed. From across the territories, if you want.
What exactly are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything, Prime Minister. I'm just pointing out the facts.
Oh my god. Is that why Kate and I can't have...
So you blamed it on the radioactive clouds from your bombs?
Before Stacy. We tried so many times.
Prime Minister, is there something wrong with the food?
Fine. You want the truth? Think it will help your viewers sleep at night? Well, here it is. 6 years ago, when we came to power, we had access to the real facts and figures. And they told us we were doomed. The population was expanding at an unsustainable rate. Within 50 years, we would be out of natural resources. We would war over fuel, and then inevitably food and clean water. It was no exaggeration to say that we were facing extinction. supposed to be opt-out contraception, an end to unwanted children, a chance to rebalance. But something went wrong in the testing phase. Nature took over, but we never, I never wanted this.
So you covered it up and blame the sterility on the bombs.
Oh, please don't lecture me on morality, Mr. James. Your hands are far too dirty for that.
Disrupt only did what had to be done.
Disrupt are not the answer. You'll just take us to an even more extreme version of where we were before. Your miserable policies will kill us all.
I'm not the one who built the transition centres.
No, you're from a time where people didn't even have the basic right to choose how and when to die.
You turned children against their parents.
We enabled young people to speak up about the abuse that they were facing. And guess what? Most of that abuse came from within their own families.
Identity cards!
Grow up!
Sterilised us against our will.
I built a sustainable future.
That's too much. That's not for you to choose.
Well, if not me, then who? Who would choose it for themselves?
And isn't that at the heart of all this? You don't trust us to choose. You think you know best? You know what's good for us, and if we disagree with you, then you'll send us to betterment. That's why there's no news anymore, because there's no choice, so there's no point.
There should be elections.
Elections have been suspended.
Time to unsuspend them then. If you want to carry on, you'll need a mandate. We have people ready to stand against you in every territory.
So, let's turn to you, Mr. James.
Yes. I want to assure the public that though Disrupt are occasionally forced to violent means, we are not by nature a violent organisation.
Jenny?
Yes, Jeremy?
Could you have this queued up for us, please?
Of course, Jeremy. It'd be a pleasure.
Is that from Disrupt leadership?
In a way. Mr. James, before you launch into your rather premature election campaign, I think it'd be useful for the viewers at home if you were to also answer a question or two.
Of course. When we come to power, one of the first things we'll do is restore a free press. The truth is very important. No more hidden secrets.
If you say so. From whom do you take your orders, by the way?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you're Disrupt's spokesman, but for whom do you speak?
Ну кто же говорит?
You know I can't tell you. It's too dangerous for me to say.
Don't worry. I don't share those concerns. You see, I've met with them almost 5 years ago now, back when I was a news anchor. And I also met with them a week ago to discuss tonight's activity. I think they wanted to check that I'd stick with the script, which really showed how little they know me. So this time, I wore a hidden camera. Would you like to see a little of what we discussed?
No, you can't. She'll have them arrested. They'll be dead by morning.
Not an unfair assessment.
Fortunately, it's not up to me. It's up to Alex in the broadcast room. What screen, Jenny?
Screen 4.
No, you can't. My people will stop you. Cut the power to your machines.
Well, I would imagine mine will be doing their level best to ensure that Mr. Donaldson's footage gets the airing it deserves. After all, my security forces will be here soon, and I imagine this will end very badly for all of you.
Queued up and ready.
Thank you, Jenny. Alex, showing this will have consequences. For someone not showing, it's up to you.
Alex, you got us this far. Please don't fall at the last hurdle.
Oh, damn. Glad I'm not making this choice.
All our good work, all the years of disrupting, we could make it all for nothing. Please, don't play that footage.
Так. Блин. Так.
Alex didn't play it.
Really? Obliged to be here tonight. I just brought down a fucking Prime Minister. All I had to do was put a fucking button.
But that's what you've never understood, is it, Mr. Donaldson? Just because the button's there doesn't mean it has to be pushed.
Just because the gun is there, you don't necessarily have to grab it.
Oh, but you have to push the button. You have to pull the thread. It's your fatal flaw.
No, it's not. It's what makes him great.
Not every story should be told, Jeremy.
We have a duty to the truth.
But there are so many truths. I'm a terrorist. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a raving lunatic.
I'm the woman who killed millions. I'm the woman who saved billions.
All of these things are true. But this program and all the others like it, they pick which truth to tell, which way to word those truths.
Without the tacit backing of this station, Mr. James's organisation would never have achieved what we have seen here today.
We back neither Mr. James nor his organisation.
Peter hated how you bend the truth or show us only what you wanted us to see. That's why he's betrayed.
Showing those private conversations, it would have been a betrayal of trust.
Aren't you even a little curious to know what they have to say about you, Alan?
What's private is private. When they want me to know, I'll know. When they feel safe to come forwards, they will. It should be up to them. That's what freedom is supposed to mean. It's your life. You choose. That's what Disrupt want. Freedom.
Ah.
Consequences. Nobody grows that way. We become sterile, like she made the rest of society. You should be in prison.
Oh, and by that token, so should you, Mr. James. There will be elections in the territory. Election night will be 12 weeks from tonight. I believe, when they think on it, that the people will realise what they have gained and understand why they have lost that which they have had to lose.
You're deluded. You accidentally sterilised 4 out of 5 people. You'll be lucky if you're in charge of anything ever again.
Okay, well, I think we're going round in circles here. And if we don't wrap up soon, our boss will fire us all. So, with the promise of elections in spring, it seems we're nowhere near the end of this nation's story. At least from here on, there is hope it will be conducted with words instead of bullets. There will be recriminations, of course, and calls for revenge and punishment. We do not need more hate. We need truth and reconciliations. And hopefully that's what we will get. And then when we've listened, we will decide, all of us, one vote each. Anything to add from you?
I think you've got it covered.
Would you like to take us out?
You know, I really...
I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Gibbs. And from everyone here at the National Nightly News, have a... Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
I'll be on the phone to Bozeman in the morning.
That'll be interesting. His daughter just gave birth to an unviable.
Are you coming out with us? Apparently we're free to go.
You go.
Will you be joining us on the campaign trail?
I wouldn't vote for your party, Mr. James. Or hers. Who knows, maybe I'll run as an independent.
You wouldn't lie.
You're too honest for politics.
Логично.
Thank you for letting me ruin your awful show.
Oh, I've got some hope that this new format won't be around long, especially when Bozeman sees the ratings tonight. Who knows, we might even do some real news.
Stranger things have happened.
Honest account of my childhood, because in the new
Don't make this
future,
a habit, okay?
there's no need.
There's a list for guests. You book in. Let's do that next time. Thank you. You look like you enjoyed that.
I had missed it. I hadn't realised how much.
Should go and get something to eat.
Yes. I want to hear about every disastrous date you've had in the last 5 years. I want names, expectations, crimes.
That's going to take more than one dinner.
Fine. I have nothing to do. And you have enough.
The most important speech of my career, and I had stained my high-cut navy trousers. Waves of nervous nausea seized me, like...
Так. Чем все закончилось?
Take a little time with your thoughts now. Maybe think before you take up that cause now. Don't end up with remorse now. Take a little time to talk with your friends now. Your honorable means may have violent ends now. That's how the time descends now. But they will lie and lie and lie. They will leave you when you cry. They will bleed you till you're dry. And you will never once ask why. Make a little peace. Make a little peace with yourself now. Lay your knowledge out on the shelf now. Make a new decision using something else now. Take a little look. Take a look behind the gold curtain. See if the beliefs you hold certain don't make you a horrible person. But they will lie and lie and lie. They will leave you when you cry. They will bleed you till you're dry. And you will never ask why. And they will keep you in your place. One kind of love, sex, embrace. And they will throw it in your face until you flail for breathing space dreams. All rotten and obscene. Seduce you with their means. Destroy your self-esteem.
А, я его не помню. Я его не помню.
Monkey on your back,
And although this is our last broadcast here on One, we'd like to thank Disrupt's leadership for this chance to say a fond farewell to you, our loyal viewers. Disrupt TV will broadcast its first programming tomorrow with a documentary called Benefit Scroungers and the Undeserving Poor, followed by The Kyle Springle Show, where a lie detector reveals a man who married his sister's brother's niece's uncle, before closing out the night with One Nation News Max, where Chet Blaze will be asking, how many guns is enough? Well, all that remains to say is thank you from all of us here at the National Nightly News and Channel 1. It's been an honour to inform and entertain you over the last 40 years. Thank you for letting us into your homes one last time. I'm Megan Wolfe. Good night and good luck.
Четырнадцать эпилогов. Середина, дурацкое разделение, всеобщий упадок, средство хаоса, лучшие Джереми. Че еще тут? Нерабочие.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Ну это я уже играл. Сколько времени-то вообще? 20:13. Все. Блок. Речь прогресса. Блок не сменить. Изоляция, нойзинг, финал, стерильность, выборы. Ну давай стерильность. Красная подружка. Лил ДД. Господи, да когда я тут... Кошмар. Понял. 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 Все.
I'm so pleased to announce that the audiobook of the first volume of my autobiography.
Снято эфиры.
Well, before we join Megan and the team for the nightly show, there's just time to catch up on what's coming up later tonight on 1. At 6:30, it's time to go to Scritchford Square for tonight's episode of The Scritch. Expect depressed people not communicating properly and ending up in all kinds of no-co situations. At 7:30, it's movie time with the network television premiere of The Automated.